and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Boom.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the...
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still third down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. James has it. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Now for the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Lucky 56.
Throwing on 1st down. Stanley got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And that is incomplete here. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to the air on 2nd down. Stanley. And he floats one there, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 3rd down, Stanley. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there. 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Got his man there complete to Gallup. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. And that'll be incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
On second down, Elliott. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun!
From the gun, Stanley. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
All right, here we go.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw on 2nd down. Stanley. That one complete to Elliott. Escapes the defender.
Missed.
He will not go down. He got 29 yards that time.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Tackle made by Montravius Adams.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that
play. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. Operating from the gun, Stanley. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Play fake. He'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Hassan Reddick. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Montravius Adams in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player of the year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Fielded at the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Now Bell. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on third and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stanley. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Looking to throw. Stanley. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded at the 27. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. He'll look to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And they'll try to get the spike off, but they won't do it in time. And that will end this first half. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And it's the Bengals who are out in front. Duke Johnson has found the end zone there. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up in that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Stanley. Flush to his right. And this is caught by Jackson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
There he goes inside the 30. He'll hit Jackson complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arm saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A dump off to Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys are in for 6.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 17-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's go! Green!
Now back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 75 yards receiving for him now. And it's a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Bell. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He's going to find Gallup here complete, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stanley. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's going to let this go deep, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
James has got it. Complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And now it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Goes underneath for Bell. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down. Meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Off the play fake. Stanley. And quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On first down, Stanley. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On first and 10, Stanley. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on first and 10. This is Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeout?
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stanley. And pressure gets to him again. T.J. Watt in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. They'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, it definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Nice pick, nice pick.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having... The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. Back to throw. Stanley. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And they turned the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
Keelan Cole now to return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he stays up, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
3-19.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now Elliott. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He'll drop to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Steelers on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
3 down. All right, here we go.
Back to throw here. And the third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching.